Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Kristinsoriginals. I am going to be doing a gadget pour for you today. I have a couple things to talk about first though. Sorry about the last couple of videos. I wasn't talking in them. I had a lot of stuff going on over the holidays. I was exposed to COVID, so I had to go get tested. Came back negative. I'm fine. But my parents both got COVID, so that's been scary. They're okay. They're doing fine. My dog is not well. I'm probably going to have to put her down. So that's been sad. So my life lately, I don't mean to laugh about it, but it's been sad. It's like a sad country song. So that's why I haven't been talking much lately. Anyhow, I wanted you to know that I'm going to get back to my talking videos because I think you guys hopefully get a lot more information from me when I talk. So today we're doing a collaboration with Christina Welch, Bryan of Spontaneous Creations by Bryan, and Mona from Art Flow by Mo. And the four of us are going to be using Bryan's new gadget. If you don't know Bryan, Spontaneous Creations by Bryan, he makes a lot of 3D gadgets for pouring. And so he sent us all one of his new gadgets, and we're going to all be doing the same colors, the same size canvas, but different petal pours. So this gadget, I had to watch one of his videos to figure it out. It isn't that confusing, but I had to wrap my mind around it. So this is the gadget, and what it does is it does 4 different size flowers, petals. You get different amount of petals, and it depends on where you pour as to what you're going to get. So the inside ring here, if we pour in here, is going to come out these holes on the edges. So this is 6 petals. You flip it over, pour on the outer ring, you're going to get 8 petals. Okay. If you pour down the center, it's going to come out these holes here. So you're going to get a 12 and a 14 petal flower. So it's kind of cool because you get 4 in 1. So we're all going to be doing a different size flower. My flower is the 6 petal. So I'm going to be pouring inside here. It's going to come out these holes. And hopefully you guys will be able to see that. And then I'll lift it up when I spin it because I'm going to spin it out. I don't think I'm going to do a base at first because I want the colors to be my center. And they will kind of drip back in because of the holes down at the bottom. So we'll see what we get. My colors, the other thing I wanted to talk about was Pansy paint. I only have one of them today that I'm using. I did dilute down one of them to get the lavender, so I actually have 2 colors that are Pansy paint. But this is how Pansy paint comes. And I'm using the Morning Pansy Shimmer. These are Christina Welch paints. I will put a link in my description box if you want to go and order her paints. They're nice and like a medium body thickness. I order them in the jars because you get more for your money. I believe these jars are $8.50. I think they're probably, I can't remember how many ounces, but good sized jar. You can get 3 bottles of paint, 3 of your condiment bottles. You can fill 3 of these up. 2.5, 3. So just depending on what your formula is. So that's the better deal. You can also order them already pre-mixed. She has her own pouring medium recipe that she uses, and it's pretty much what I use too. It's the glue all, and I believe she's still doing that. The glue all and the Floetrol and a little bit of water. So the bottles are $8.50 also, so you can see the price difference if you're okay with mixing your own paint. If you want to get paint that's easy and it's already set up to pour right out of the bottle, then you can order the liquid bottles. And that is in the US. Not sure how much shipping she does outside the U.S., especially, I think she just does the jar paint outside the U.S. because otherwise it would be too heavy. And you can have her add silicone to those paints. All right, so sorry about the long intro, but I wanted to give her a shout out too, and especially since she's doing the video with us today, it's going to be fun to see how all of our flowers come out different, but all using the same colors, same size canvas, but same tool, but different flowers. All right, so we're going to start with, I'm going to start with my darker colors. I have this is the Morning Pansy that I've mixed up with my Floetrol glue all. I don't know if I put any water in that, but anyhow, Floetrol water, like a medium, because the flowers are kind of like a ring pour. I don't put silicone in, and you want the paint, you want to keep the separation of paint. So you want them a little bit on the thicker side. Don't make them too thin, or they'll just all run together. And I don't like silicone unless I'm going for a certain look in my flowers. All right, so we're just going to put the paint in this outer ring. Pay attention to where it's coming, where it's dripping out from, to make sure you've got all your petals are coming out evenly. The first go around is going to be not as uniform, but they'll start getting more uniform as you keep going. Okay, and this is a lavender that I made just with the dark purple added white. Let's go in with some white. I'm trying to remember my order that I'm going in. So then I did the white. I'm going to go in with some of this army green or olive green, and talk a little bit about color mixing. I didn't have an olive green or an army green, so what you can do to make your colors more earthy, and that's what an army green or an olive green is not so bright, is I added its complementary color to it to tone it down. And I lightened it up a little bit first. I added some light green to it and some parchment. I didn't want to add white. I didn't want it that stark, so I added parchment, which is kind of an off-white, and then I used red, because red is the complementary color of green, and that will make your colors more earthy. So anything on the color wheel that is the complementary color is the color opposite on the color wheel. So blue and orange are complementary colors, red and green, and purple and yellow. And that's also why you get gray or brown. Just think about it that way, gray or brown. If you mix those, we call it mud. The reason you get mud is because that's what it creates, and that's why it tones down your colors if you add it. All right, so we're going to go back in and start the round over again. So we're going to go in with the Morning Pansy. Shimmer. This one has a shimmer to it. I think I want to get some more of that in there. Remember too, when you're doing these flower petal pours, if you're doing through a strainer or, you know, whatever tool you're using, Bryan has a lot of other tools too that you can buy. Yeah, I just lost my train of thought. That's not good. When you're pouring through them, oh, that's what I was going to say. The first set of petals that you do is probably going to get spun off. You're probably not going to see much of those. They'll be on the edge. I'm trying to decide if I want to turn this. You can turn it just a little bit so that you get a second set of petals. But I don't know if I want to do that. Okay, we got the lavender, and then I think we did the white. Oh yeah, you guys are getting a good view of how that's coming out. It's coming out more on that side. I probably have, it's probably tilting a little bit. I'm gonna scoot the camera back just a minute and spin that around so that it's gonna come back the other way. Okay. If you notice that your canvas is doing that, it's a little bit off, just rotate it, and that way it'll go back that way and it'll stay more on the even side. All right, so we've got the white. Let's do some of the olive green. Much easier to pour with these in condiment bottles. So I order mine from Sam's Club online. You can get a pretty good price on 12 of them. Go back in with the gold. And then I just use the pencil erasers for the tops. I'm going a little bit heavier handed with the dark purple because I really want that to be more of my main color. I hope you guys had a good holidays. Mine weren't so good, but that's just the way this year's been for me. I am so grateful that I have pouring and that my granddaughter was born this year, because that's definitely been my bright spot of the year. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to tell you. I am getting really close to my 1,000 subscribers, getting up there, so that's exciting. And I'm going to be doing a pretty good giveaway when I reach 1,000 for you guys. I've been thinking about it for a while, so I haven't really come up with a definite plan yet, but definitely going to be something on the bigger side since I didn't do anything for 900. So that'll be fun. I'm just going to put my white down because I don't want those outer petals to roll over too much. I have this on my cake stand spinner. You can get that on Amazon. One of these days I'll set up my Amazon shop and you guys can just go through there. Makes it easier for you to find stuff. But yeah, these cake spinners are nice. They spin really good. You have to be careful sometimes because they spin too good, but helps with the flowers. When I first started out, I was tilting my flowers, and you can tilt them, but it's you get so much of a nicer flower, better result if you spin, because they're all going out at the same time. They don't get so wonky. All right, so we ended with gold, so we're done with our round. So I think we're gonna do another round. I don't like how my canvas is not very level. I should have checked that. My bad. Try to push that base paint up as close as you can so that it connects. Because if it doesn't, you'll have that dry space there when you go to spin it. All right. Yeah, that's getting kind of wonky. let's go back. I'm going to do one more round, I think, and then we're going to spin. And again, I'm doing a heavy round of the purple. Neighbor kids are out playing. I'm going to add a little bit more purple back in there. Got lots of bubbles because I just mixed my color. And a little bit of the white. I'm anxious to see what the center of this is going to be. I may have to get out my trusty balloon and do some balloon swipes. Oops, something just dropped in my paint. Okay, a little bit of the green. And end it with a little bit of the gold. All right, let's take it off. And hopefully I have enough paint on there. I don't want to get too much on there. Take that off. Oh, that's a pretty cool center. Interesting. I'm going to put you guys up and move the camera back because we're going to spin. I think I want to spin it out first, and then we'll see what we've got for the center. So let's give it a little spin. Oops, sorry, my cup was in the way. I have a wonky flower. This is going to be a wonky one. It's all right. Flowers in nature aren't perfect either, so. Okay, I'm going to torch that. So lots of bubbles. All right, let's give it another spin. Go back the other way. Paint is flying everywhere. I'm tilting just a little bit because I want to get that, I don't want any negative space on this one. I'm going to come back to the center. If you don't have a spinner and you're going to tilt these out, try to tilt them like you are thinking about a clock, and it just works better with the flowers. So tilt out 12 o'clock, and now I'm kind of at 1 o'clock, 1 to 2 o'clock. And then come back to the center. And then you would go to the 3 o'clock position. So it's just like going around a clock, and it just breaks it up. Instead of going to 4 corners, you're getting to those edges, and you're keeping more of that flower shape. So just a little trick that I found with all the flowers I've poured. I'm kind of a flower geek. I love my flowers. All right. Yeah, I have this on a canvas that is wrapped, and I think it has air in it, and that's why I'm getting some, it's not real level. I'm thinking, I think I want to pull in that center before I do anything else. And I like to use the end of a paintbrush to do that on my flowers. So any paintbrush will do. I just try to find one that has a nice smooth end to it. And I usually go in between the petals. I'm not crazy about disrupting the petal this way. It's just my personal preference. I like to keep my petals rounded. So I go in that way, where the in between the petals. Try to pay attention to what is there already, because you know, if you don't want to mess up something that's pretty, or go with the lines that are there already. Just always try to be aware of composition. And then I just swirl at the end, and there you go. I think I do want to pull in from here. I have a lot of paint still in the middle. But it does make a pretty center. So I'm just going to have to pull some of that paint out. Because it's getting too muddy in the middle. Okay. I'm going to give it another torch. Still lots of bubbles going on. It is a very pretty flower though. And let's give it another spin. Let's get some more of that paint off the canvas. When you spin, if you still see paint flying off, then you know there's still too much paint on there. So, got to get it off. And I really don't want to spin it too hard, but I really don't want a lot of, I still have some negative space in this corner over here, which I may end up having to leave because I don't want to tilt it. So let's go in with a balloon and suck out some of that color. I have found that is the easiest, fastest way to get rid of color in the center. I thought I had a balloon blown up and now I can't find it. Uh-oh. All right, I'm gonna have to pause you guys so I can blow up this balloon. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I have, you know, it's pretty thick in that middle and it's pretty muddy. So I'm just gonna use my handy, like my mustache. I don't know how I ended up with balloons, mustaches on them. I did. So I'm just gonna set it down in that center to pick up some of that paint. Bit more. I need my little balloon that has the little balloon. I put water in it and it makes it kind of heavy bottomed, so it makes it easier to go in and do little areas. But that's pretty good for now. I may do a couple more off camera because there's still a lot of paint in that center, but it's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Look at how, see how much dark purple I put in there though, and how much that lavender took over. And that, I believe, is because of the white that you add to lighten it up. It just tends to take over things. But there you go. So check out their videos too. I will put a link in my description, the little down arrow. Just go in there and you can go straight to their videos from there. And it'll be fun to see what everybody does differently. I will also put a link to Christina's Etsy shop where you can order the paint, and to Bryan's Etsy shop where you can order the gadget. So also make sure when you're done with these gadgets, they go straight into water, so you can make sure they get cleaned out right away. All right, I'm going to take you guys down for a close-up. Okay, we're back. So here's the close-up. That's that corner. I don't know. I think it'll be okay. There's that pretty center. So I feel like I'm in the light creating shadows. So there you go. That's your video finished up this week. You guys have a great week, and please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. You're new to my channel. Welcome, and thank you for coming to watch, and I will see you guys next Tuesday. Have a great one. Bye-bye.